Good day, everyone. Thank you for your interest in certified outdoor nature-based childcare programs. This video is an introduction to key differences that set the ONB program apart from other childcare options. DELC will begin licensing ONB programs on July 1st, 2025. Please note this is an overview only and does not cover every single rule for ONB programs. Our goal today is to give you a clear understanding of the most significant information so that you can decide if an outdoor, nature-based program is right for you. My name is Bree Irvin, and I am the CCLD Communications and Database Coordinator. I'll be taking you through the ONB program today. We'll begin this video with a short introduction to the whats and whys of outdoor nature-based childcare programs. Next, we'll look at some of the additional qualifications and unique rules that apply to ONB programs. Finally, we will share some additional resources and next steps. This is a summary of the rules for certified outdoor nature-based childcare programs that will become effective on July 1st, 2025. Support documents are available to download from the DELC website at www.oregon.gov/delc/pages/default.aspx. These support documents were created to help your childcare program operate in compliance with the ONB rule set. We have been working hard to ensure that existing resources are updated to include ONB programs. In addition, we have a library of new technical assistance documents and materials which you can request from your licensing specialist for understanding and implementing the rules. Your licensing specialist is your best resource if you have questions specific to your program. We know it will take time to learn the rules and apply them to your program. Starting in July, when these rules take effect, your licensing specialist will take time to make a plan with you on what your next steps are to qualify for an ONB license. We will be spending the next year providing technical assistance and allowing programs ample time to come into compliance with the new rule book. And while our licensing specialists have received quite a bit of training and will be ready for you in July, we know that applying rules to specific program needs may also take some time for our staff to reflect upon or look into a bit deeper. We are all in a learning space with this new program, and our system recognizes that and will come alongside you while you work on implementation. We are here to help. In 2023, Oregon's legislators passed House Bill 2717, requiring DELC to create a pathway for licensing childcare programs that primarily serve children in outdoor natural settings. The bill highlighted benefits for families, such as increased childcare options, more hours of available care, as well as continued access to ERDC and health and safety monitoring through CCLD licensing. The bill also highlighted benefits to children, such as supporting executive function, children's independence, boosting their immune systems, increasing their physical development, and supporting their love of the natural world. DELC had strong guiding principles to lead us as we engaged in this process. Our goal was to develop and implement licensing requirements that would ensure the health and safety of children in outdoor nature-based childcare settings. To do this, we drew on and aligned with existing licensing regulations and national ONB experts whenever possible. We incorporated the knowledge and expertise of current Oregon ONB practitioners. We ensured that our rules were in compliance with federal and state regulations, including licensing, monitoring, training, complaints, and core competencies in health and safety. In addition, we considered the unique physical environments, materials, and activities essential to ONB programs, and provided for flexible ways for programs to meet health and safety requirements. DELC also had to define what qualifies as an outdoor nature-based childcare program. First, it must provide care to children primarily in outdoor natural spaces. Second, it may serve children 36 months through age 12. Third, it must utilize a philosophy where nature is central to children's learning and development. It is important to note that indoor spaces may be used to meet the biological needs of children or for emergency shelter. One of Delk's goals was to develop ONB programs while maintaining consistency in health and safety standards. To this end, ONB programs must be in compliance with all federal health and safety requirements. All ONB staff and volunteers over the age of 18 must be enrolled in the Central Background Registry. ONB programs must have a written policy on behavior and guidance of children that includes the use of positive guidance to support children's development in self-regulation, self-direction, and respect for others. ONB programs are prohibited from using rough or harsh discipline in any form, including but not limited to corporal punishment, restricting movement, isolation, yelling or using harsh language, or allowing any form of mental or emotional punishment. ONB programs must also have written procedures for handling injuries, including accessing emergency medical care, providing first aid measures for serious accidents, and routine care for minor injuries. Programs that are more than 30 minutes away from emergency medical care must have one staff member with wilderness first aid certification with each group of children at all times. Finally, ONB programs must have and practice emergency preparedness plans that address fire, extreme weather, wild animals, and other potential hazards and emergencies. Due to the nature of outdoor nature-based programs, there are some additional qualifications for directors, teachers, and all staff. Directors must have 20 hours of approved outdoor nature-based education or training. They must also have 250 hours of work experience in an outdoor education environment. Teachers are required to have 10 hours of approved outdoor nature-based education or training. And for all staff, programs that are operating more than 30 minutes away from emergency medical services will require at least one staff member certified in wilderness first aid with each group of children at all times. Outdoor nature-based childcare programs are unique and require some program-specific rules. I want to take a few minutes to highlight some of the key differences between outdoor nature-based programs and other childcare options. First, outdoor nature-based programs require a benefit-risk analysis. Programs must have documentation of the benefits and risks of risky play activities, as well as the policies and procedures the program will use to mitigate the risk of injury to children while maintaining the benefits. ONB programs must also have a written curriculum philosophy that describes how nature is central to their curriculum and how the nature-based experiences will help children develop emotionally, socially, cognitively, and physically, as well as how the program will provide inclusive learning for all children in care. Additionally, ONB programs must have outdoor classrooms with at least 75 square feet per child within a total outdoor natural space of at least 4,000 square feet per child. This equates to 1 acre of outdoor natural space per 10 children. For preschool-age children or mixed-age groups that include preschool-age children, the adult-to-child ratio is 1 adult per 8 children, with a maximum group size of 16 children. For school-age children, the ratio is 1 adult per 10 children, with a maximum group size of 20 children. It is important to note that an ONB program must always have at least 2 staff members on site. In addition, certain ONB activities, which will be discussed later, have lower ratios. ONB programs are subject to additional rules designed to protect children from environmental hazards, such as wild animals and toxic plants, as well as pesticides, extreme weather conditions, and natural hazards, such as bodies of water, cliffs, etc. In addition, ONB programs have unique toileting options available to accommodate the natural setting. Programs may use public facilities provided at nature centers or parks, or may install and use chemical or composting toilets on their property. Backcountry toileting is allowed only when away from the outdoor classroom and permitted by the landowner. ONB rules allow for the use of coolers with thermometers to keep food at safe storage temperatures. Programs may also use camp stoves and outdoor kitchens, provided that environmental health and safety standards are met. ONB programs may include risky play activities as long as specific training, supervision, and safety procedures are followed. ONB programs must review the safety rules and procedures of any risky activity with children each time before the child participates. Additional examples of specific rules for risky play include requiring the presence of a lifeguard and the use of approved water life vests for all water activities that involve water deeper than 24 inches, as well as reduced ratios for preschool-age children of 1 adult per 6 children. Also, ensuring that any foraged plants meant for consumption are free of pesticides, herbicides, or other pollutants, and that it has been clearly identified by a trained adult before a child consumes it. When children are climbing natural objects such as boulders or trees, children are not allowed to climb out of reach of a staff member, and a staff member must be able to provide immediate assistance to any climbing child. For this reason, it may be necessary for programs to limit the number of children climbing at one time. Additionally, ONB programs that allow children to use tools must have a reduced staff-to-child ratio of 1:1 or 1:3, depending on the age of the children and the children's demonstrated proficiency with the tool they are using. This is not a complete list of rules governing risky play and activities, but is meant only as a small sample of the types of policies, procedures, and staffing a program will need in order to implement and engage in these types of play. Additional resources are available on the DELC website at www.oregon.gov/delk/resources/pages/default.aspx. These resources include the Outdoor Nature-Based Childcare Program Fast Facts, Sample Premises Diagram, ONB Determining Capacity, EMS Notification, Training Requirements for ONB Programs, the ONB Benefit Risk Assessment, the ONB Program Policy List, and the ONB Emergency Plan. If you are interested in starting an ONB program in Oregon, here are your next steps. First, review the information available on the DELC website to ensure that you meet the qualifications, including trainings and CBR enrollment. Also, ensure your space can or does meet the requirements. Second, contact the licensing specialist who is working with your county. You can contact customer service at the number or email address on the next slide to be connected to your licensing specialist. Then, set up a pre-certification visit with your licensing specialist and their manager. Write your outdoor nature-based curriculum philosophy, complete your benefit risk analysis, secure any permissions or sign-offs that are discussed in the pre-certification visit, such as environmental health inspections, lead testing, and fire and emergency safety visits. Finally, submit your application to Child Care Licensing Division, and then complete a licensing visit. Thank you again for your interest in outdoor nature-based childcare programs. You can get additional information at www.oregon.gov/delk/providers/outdoor-nature-based. You can also contact the Child Care Licensing Division Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. by calling 1-800-556-6616 or emailing ccld.customerservice@delk.oregon.gov. We look forward to working with you to make your program a success.